I let you know that there is a new UK visa that will enable you to come to the UK, live in the UK for just 4 years, and become a permanent resident here in the UK. What if I tell you that this particular visa pathway will enable you to move to the UK with your dependents, no matter your profession? What if I tell you that you are not just alone? Yes, you heard me. This program will be able to sort out your accommodation. This program, the government is proposing to give you relocation support that will enable you to settle quickly in those villages. Amazing, right? Interesting. What if I tell you that this particular visa have targeted those of you in the shortage occupation route in the UK? When we talk about the UK shortage occupation route, I'm talking about those of you in the healthcare sector, nurses, doctor, healthcare assistants, medical laboratory scientists, and other allied healthcare professionals. This visa is targeting engineers, is targeting those of you in construction, information technology, farmers. Guys, a lot of you are eligible for this pathway. In today's video, besties, I am glad and I am so happy to introduce you guys to another visa pathway to the UK that will be launched soon. This pathway is called the Scottish Rural Immigration Pilot Program. Guys, this program have been announced by the Scottish government to recruit skilled workers, talents that are willing to migrate to the rural Scotland, to their villages. This was based on the Canada New Rural and Northern Immigration Pathway. The government of Scotland in the UK also looked at that program and were like, I think this is also something we should embark on to attract talent to our villages that are lacking, talent, that are lagging in economic development. Guys, that is the sole purpose of this opportunity. In today's video, I will be teaching you a step-by-step application guide. How this program is going to go. What you should do to stand a chance. The government is proposing that this program will last for 5 years. Remember what happened to the UK care visa. Do not sleep on this so that before you will wake up from your slumber, the opportunity will not be casted. In the first year, they are proposing that they are going to start with 5 rural communities, and each of this rural community is targeting 300 people for the first year. If you multiply 300 times 5, will be targeted the first year. Tap your neighbor and say, I will be among these 150 people moving to the UK via this rural pilot program. Yes, you will be among these 150,000 people that will be moving to the UK via this pathway. Let us proceed. So guys, like I have said, in today's video, I will teach you everything you need to proceed. Before we go into this, welcome back to the channel. If you are seeing this beautiful girl for the first time, my name is Adeze. On this channel, I create content on immigration, how you can migrate to your dream country without breaking the bank. If this is you, if you want to move abroad in 2025, consider subscribing to my family because you will not regret being a part of the positivity gang, right? Please do well to like this video so that others will find this opportunity very interesting. Remember, we rise when we lift other people up, right? So sharing this video will make you be a good Samaritan. It will let others see this opportunity and jump on it. Big disclaimer, I don't do job applications for people. I don't take people's money promising them jobs that I don't have. Anybody in your DM you are doing any business with, answering Adakins, promising you a job, asking you to pay money for package is not Adakins. I will not be liable for your loss. I believe in do it yourself. I come here, create video, give you link, go and try your luck. If I have a means to do a master class and teach you more in-depth ways to apply to a job, I will do that, and I will announce it only here on this platform. Please be careful out there so you don't fall into the hands of bad boys. Let's proceed, guys. So today's video video, I'm going to review on the government website about this opportunity, because we have a lot to review, how you will apply, what this opportunity is about, and everything you need to know. Before we go to my screen, I want to let you know that this opportunity is employer-based. What do I mean by employer-based? It means that you need a legit employer in any of these communities to recruit you from the overseas and bring you to the United Kingdom. Right? So when an employer posts their job, the Scottish government are creating a website for this pathway where eligible communities will post a job vacancy, you apply to it, the community will endorse you, just the way Canada is doing it. The community will endorse you and give you an endorsement letter. With that endorsement letter and your offer letter from your prospective employer, you will now go to the UK government website and apply for your visa. Remember, Scotland is one of the 4 countries in the United Kingdom. It's a country in the UK that people are underrating, but Scotland is actually one of the best places to live in the UK with a lot of benefits for immigrants. Remember, we have 4 countries in the UK. We have England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. But it's quite unfortunately, many of you mix these things together, forgetting that each of these 4 countries have also their different pathways as well and different job opportunities. So guys, let's dive into the government website. Let's see what the government have in stock for you and how you should stand a chance to gaining this opportunity. Let's go. So guys, as you can see on my screen, it says proposed pilot establishing a Scottish rural community pilot program. Guys, this is called the SRCIM in abbreviation. Okay, it's overview. Let's look at the overview of this opportunity together. This is directly from the government of Scotland, www.gov.scots. All right, I'm not reading this thing from any other place. Scottish rural immigration pilot will be a community-driven, employer-based route, community-driven and employer-based, right? Operating within the UK immigration framework. The approach will spread the benefits of immigration to smaller, remote and rural communities in Scotland, enabling migration based upon genuine employment opportunities, which have the best fit for the economic needs and service delivery of that specific community. So guys, depending on the community, there will be different opportunity depending on the economic need of that particular community. All right, either in respect to acute shortage, potential for future growth or regeneration, or for maintaining crucial local services and ongoing viability of communities. All right, guys, from what we have seen on my screen, this is community-based and what? Employer-based. What this means for you is that an employer has to give you a job first, and a community must endorse you before you get this visa. That is what this means. And according to them, it will be from shortage occupation or a potential growth of a particular job in demand to boost the economy of that particular village. So let's read further to understand what the government is about to embark on. Third, participating employers within identified geographic areas referred as the community will be able to advertise for vacancies using the Scotland Rural Community Immigration Pilot Bespoke entry criteria. So there is a lot of entry criteria for this opportunity, which I will be listing for you down below. So stay tuned. Those employers would assess prospective candidates before recommending choosing candidates to the Home Office for security checks and final decision. So the Home Office will conduct some security checks and have their final decision. Once a decision was approved, the migrant will be sponsored by their employer through the course of their arrival. Community partners, including the employer, along with local services and third sector partners, will offer a package of integrated settlement support services for newcomers. Okay. Participating employers, in collaboration with Scottish government and UK government organization, will have responsibility for ensuring that terms and conditions of the scheme continue to be met. Newcomers will be required to adhere to clear conditions of employment within the community as set out across the duration of the pilot. These conditions will be gradually erased over a period of 4 years with a route to permanent residence with no mobility restrictions upon completion. So guys, basically, the government is proposing to you all that if you should be coming to the UK via this pathway, you will be working in that rural village, in that community for 4 good years. Yes, you heard me. For good 4 years without changing an employer, without leaving that community. So remember, it is a 4-year visa route. So after that 4 years in that particular village, you will be getting your residence, permanent residence to stay in the UK, called the indefinite leave to remain. And once that happens, you are free to move to every other part of the UK if you don't like that village anymore. I hope this is making sense. All right. Let's sort see they said the below section illustrates how the scheme will be implemented through accountability structures to be established between the UK government, Scottish government, local authorities, employers, and settlement partners. They include the design and implementation. In the design, they are looking at the plot and the length of the program, conditions of employment, rights and residency, identification of designated community pilot areas, strategic skills, plan and entry requirements, enrollment of sponsoring employers, advertise vacancies and assess candidates, candidates recommended by communities to Home Office for final decision, resettlement support provided by community partners, monitoring and enforcement. So guys, this is how all this will go through. All right, like I said, this is the procedure. Now, pathway summary stage by stage. SRCIP migrant pathway and SRCIP employer pathway. The next is evaluation of the scheme. How will the scheme be evaluated? The next is proposal, design, and implementation, the first one. So guys, it is anticipated that the scheme will establish between 3 and 5 pilot communities, like I said in the beginning of this video, across remote and rural areas of Scotland, throughout over an initial period of 5 years. This will enable comparison between different areas during ongoing evaluation of the pilots. So guys, this is for good 5 years, all right? And caps or quotas on migrants entering the scheme will need to be discussed during the design phase. However, it is suggested that an initial cap of 300 migrants per designated community pilot area will be permitted to enter via the scheme across the pilot's duration. So guys, every year, that is 300 people for these 5 communities. That is 150,000 people per year. You will be among these people, all right? So coming down, what are the conditions of employment, rights, and residency? This is very important for you to note. Under the SRCIP, participants will be required to adhere to clear conditions of employment at the beginning of the pilot, which will be gradually eased over the first 4 years. This includes the first 12 months. You are required to stay in the relevant job based in designated community pilot area guaranteed by the employer. So guys, they are saying that the first 12 months, that is for good 1 year, this same employer will give you a guaranteed job for 1 year, that you will work for them for good 1 year without saying we are sacking her, we are throwing her out. No, it is a guaranteed 1 year job for the first 1 year. Now, the first 24 months, that's after 1 year, the next 2 years, requirements to be employed by an employer enrolled in the partnership. So after the first year and you decide to change your employer, that's what this one is stating now. After the first year, you decide that you want to change your employer, you can change your employer, but it must be within the same community, right? First 4 years, requirement to be employed within the community pilot area. So at the first 4 years, you must be employed in that community. All right. After 4 years, permanent residency and no restrictions on mobility within the UK, guys. This is from the government website. After 4 years, you are getting your permanent residence to live in the UK. All right. Good. There are a lot of settlement support that is anticipated by the communities and your employers to provide for you. Let's have a look at all this settlement support. It's one of the major advantages of this program. Sponsoring employers will then be responsible for assessing applications from potential international migrants. They said it here, potential international migrants, carrying out virtual interviews and making a decision on the best fit for the role. Once a preferred candidate is identified, the sponsoring employer will need to submit a community recommendation in partnership with the local authority and Scottish government on behalf of the incoming individual to the Home Office for approval. Let's have a look at the settlement support provided by community partners. Once the visa application is approved by the Home Office, the community with support from the Scottish government would lead efforts to provide pre- and post-arrival settlement support to newcomers arriving on the scheme. In the first instance, this support could take the form of a detailed information packed to applicants before their arrival in the pilot area. Okay, and one of the key features of the settlement support will be advice immigrants about suitable local accommodation options, either through the employer or by signposting to other accommodation providers. All right, so guys, coming down, monitoring and enforcement, you know, how they are going to enforce everything. Now, this is the pathway summary stage by stage, okay? Now, the SRCP migrant pathway, identify what this means is, this is the pathway for you as a migrant. What is expected of you? 1, identify and apply to scheme vacancies. Migrant consult Community Vacancy Board advertising jobs under the Scottish Rural Community Immigration Pilot Scheme. The second duty you have to perform is migrants submit application directly to the employer, sponsor, and if selected, undergoes assessment and interview. The next job for you as a migrant is, if successful, migrants receive community recommendation. So the community is going to recommend you to the Home Office. Now, it is your job as a migrant to obtain your Scottish Community Rural Immigration Pilot Visa. Migrant submits application including additional information for security checks to the Home Office under the SRCIP route, enclosing community recommendation. So that recommendation letter that the community is going to provide to you, you are going to take this recommendation letter and attach it to all other necessary documents needed for your visa application. Now, the migrant, you will receive approval from the Home Office and award you the SRCIP visa. Arrival and support from employers. As a migrant, it is your right to receive pre-arrival information and support from the community partners, including employer sponsor. It is your duty to arrive in community, receive wider integration support from partners. So when you arrive, the partners to this program are willing to support you. The next thing you have to do as a migrant is to adhere to conditions of employment and residency for first 4 years. Year 1 begins on day of arrival. Guys, I just summarized to you in details what is required of you as an international applicant that wants to move to Scotland on this program. You can see it on my screen. It was straight to the point, right? Your major job here is to look for a job, to look for the accredited employers in the accredited communities that will employ you. And once you get this job, the community will give you a recommendation letter. You will be going through an interview phase, passing the interview, doing your visa yourself with your offer letter and your community recommendation, and getting this visa. Then you move to the UK, and then there will be support for you and your family to settle down. So now let's have a look at the step-by-step pathway of the employer. What should the employer be doing for you so that you get ready for all these things? Let's go. CIP employer pathway. Engage in scheme development. Employers in the community are consulted in development of strategic skills plan. Employers submit application to become sponsors with evidence they meet the required standards. Once approved, employer sponsors complete required training and enroll upon SRCIP scheme. Recruits for vacancies. Employers upload vacancies required to meet the criteria of agreed strategic skills plan on the Community Vacancy Board under the SRCIP scheme. Employer sponsors assess jobs applications of candidates, ensuring fit with every entry requirement, and award community recommendation to preferred candidates. Provide support to immigrants. Employer sponsors receive notification of Home Office security checks, and if approved, issue immigrant with pre-arrival information pack. Employer sponsor work with wider partners in the community to provide integration support to package to immigrants upon arrival. Employer sponsors provide the guaranteed full-time employment to the migrant for at least a year. Employer sponsors maintain record of the migrant residency in the community. Follow referral processes to enforce agencies if migrants in breach of either employment or residency requirements. They are proposing that it is also the duty of the employer and the community to make sure you have an accommodation when you are coming in to do this job. They are proposing that employers should be able to provide you suitable accommodation or refer you to how to get a suitable accommodation, because these villages have one major challenge, which is accommodation issues. So guys, in conclusion, this pilot program has been proposed and we are patiently waiting for them to announce when it is coming into play, when they are actually kicking off. We don't know if it's in 2025 or if it's going to be next year, but it has been proposed. And you remember how it was in the UK. They have proposed this since 2022 or thereabouts, and they have been sitting on it and deliberating on it. So this is what they are proposing. The Scottish government is telling the government of UK, we are lagging behind in our rural community and we need international workforce, guys. Remember, Scotland is a country of its own in the UK, right? And England is different from Scotland. So guys, this is the proposal and this is how everything is going to be. What is your job now? Your job is to keep out looking out on this platform, because I am going to be the first person to alert you once they open this pilot and teach you the step-by-step how to apply for these jobs. Currently, they have not released the names of the communities that will be participating. So we are expecting to get this information in the upcoming news. So if you are interested in moving to Scotland, and I will assure you that this is one of the sweetest opportunities to move to Scotland, because it is straightforward and it is, straight to the point. It is not, something you will find difficult achieving. Dear besties, if you are still watching me and you have not liked this video or you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please do me well to subscribe, hit that like button, and share this opportunity to bless someone. Yes, that's why we are here, to impact life positively. I wish you the best of luck, and I encourage you to do more research on this opportunity. Start getting yourself warmed up and ready to move to Scotland. The last video I made on the recent, proposal from the UK government on new changes, on their new changes in their immigration, I made you guys to understand that Scotland is a good location where you should be looking at. I said it before and I'm saying it again. We have the NHS Scotland. They have their separate website. I have also done several videos on this channel to show you how to apply to NHS Scotland. Do well to start application in Scotland. There is loads and loads and loads and loads of opportunities in Scotland, and many of you are missing a lot from this opportunity. Please do well to stick to these opportunities. I wish you guys the very best of luck, and I will see you in our next one. For now, bye besties. Bye.